Right now, the entertaining is going to be done by our Dare Stock drivers, as the 62 aboard, it does not come up to speed, and Marcello Refrano does.
It is a mad scramble, and right in the middle of it all is Zach Robinson, gathers it back, forward motion. They are locked together momentarily. Everybody is spinning and sliding through the situation. Car number 29, it is Trace Meyer who is stuck in the inside of the infield, and it looks like we are going to
be under yellow, I think.
Well, they rumble back to the stripe. The green flag is out. And it is, trouble down the front straightaway. We've got one around, Matt, backwards.
And a car pointed in the wrong direction. And that could be the 93 car of one of the guy that is contending for the points, as Dan Dembeck was only 4 points off the lead. Right now, awesome is a word used to describe Alexandra Fern as she tries to rocket her way into the lead against Marcello Refrano.
She might have been, playing a little cat and mouse game in qualifying, because she now looks racy at the point, and Marcello continues to try to muscle his way to the bottom. But it's Alexandra Fern looking for back-to-back victories as she thunders down into turn number 1. All of a sudden, another factor in this event becomes Zach Robinson. Now, Zach Robinson, we almost counted him out in the first lap, was his car became evil. Now he's up among the top 4 cars and reeling in on Latour for position number 3.
And Zach Robinson had a pretty big night last night. He graduated from 8th grade. So one of the young competitors in our field trying to keep up with Frank Latour Jr. in car number 33 and leading the next crew. Trouble for Nicole Chambrello as she goes into the lawn off of the front straightaway.
See if she's able to fire it back up. Hopefully she will, and we can remain under green. But it doesn't look promising, because there is the yellow as her car suddenly became evil off turn number 4. And that's going to tighten it all back up. Is going to give him the green, and he does. And Alexandra Fern continues to try to hold on to that number 1 spot. But Marcello is really giving him a run for the money.
Yeah, Marcello pretty smooth. So he is able to stay cemented to that number 12 car. As they swing off the corner, we have 2 drivers who are welded together. Alexandra Fern, Marcello Raffiano, and look at that number 33 of Latour trying to poke his nose into the party.
Certainly does. Robinson is right there, and right to the front of the class again goes Dembeck. Marcello bounces off the wall. Frank Latour becomes a contender for the number 1 spot. They are side by side. The battle of the sexes.
Probably turn 1. Chambrello is around again. Also, a couple cars were in the grass. But Phelps. Chambrello is the one that is unable to move.
And there is the green. And Alexandra Fern and Marcello are evenly matched side by side into turn number 2, almost glued together, Matt, as they head down the back straightaway.
Boy, this is a classic restart. They are still welded together as they enter the 4th turn. Maybe a slight advantage for Fern on the inside. They shuffle off the corner, and your leader is going to be, I think, Alexandra Fern, but not by much.
Well, if it was so tiny. Let's see what's going to happen as Alexandra stays focused at the point. Marcello.
And we have it in the yellow. It comes out.
And Chambrello just seems to have a tough time tonight with turn number 1, stuck up to the high side in front of the pit grandstand there. Right now, we're getting a whole different perspective as the field is back through green, and Alexandra Fern showing it was no fluke a week ago that she won, because she's leading them down the back straightaway.
And she was able to pull away from the combination of Refrano and Latour. Latour making a desperate move. Maybe he is being shoved by the 93 of Dembeck. So they swirl around the corner, and Alexandra Fern is back in business.
No question about it. And Latour currently sets in the 2nd spot. Marcello still digging in hard on the outside, but here comes Dembeck, and Tyler Trott is in trouble, Matt. He spins underneath the Dunleavy's truck and repair sign, but gets it fired back up, and I think we're going to remain under green, and it looks like we are. Half of the event is all but history, and Alexandra Fern looks for back-to-back victories if she can hold on for the remaining 8 laps of competition here.
And one of the roughest outings of the season for Tyler Trott. Now getting caught on the outside is Marcello Refrano, and he loses a spot to Dembeck in car number 93. Dembeck is getting a little pestering action to the back bumper of the Frank Latois car. Best battle second and third between Latois and Dembeck, and then it's side by side between Robinson and Refrano.
Robinson tries everything. Refrano is on the outside. Tyler Trott a lapped automobile, and here comes Zach Robinson up to the 4th spot, forcing Marcello to have to settle back in for 5, but that's not over with yet. They're side by side as they rumble off turn number 4, but Zach Robinson will pick up position number 4. And what about the 29, Trace Meyer? Well, he was involved in the skirmish earlier, and he's now among the top 6 cars.
And he is looking to get by the 48 of Marcello Refrano, and that might not be easy to do. The drum major of the parade is Alexandra Fern, looking to go back-to-back. 5 laps to go when they hit the line, and we know what a finisher that Frank Latois is, and the same can be said for Dan Dembeck. Most of their wins have been come from behind specialties in the last few laps, so Alexandra Fern will have her hands full.
It is Dembeck who's the quickest car in the racetrack, and he now moves to the inside of Latois. Side-by-side racing for second. Latois drifts up the hill, loses a little ground, and Dembeck will now move into second. Alexandra Fern becomes the next target of Dembeck, and look at Zach Robinson. All of a sudden, he gets his second win, and Zach Robinson is now side-by-side with Latois for that 3rd spot.
As he's able to whirlwind his way underneath that number 33 car, Latois. Let's see what happens as they rampage their way off the corner. Latois is holding on to 3rd, but right now 2 cars have pulled away slightly. The 12 of Fern, the 93 of Dembeck. Also in the vicinity is Frank Latois. We are going to have a barn burner over the final 2.5 laps.
No question, they head down to turn number 3. Alexandra Fern looking for back-to-back victories. Lapped automobile up ahead. Passing flag is out. The number 84 could be in the direct line of fire. They head to the bottom of turn 1. Dembeck glued to the back bumper. Alexandra Fern still holds on. Off turn 2, it's still Fern down the back straightaway.
Alexandra Fern will try to keep her car down low. She knows Dembeck is capable of making a major move on the final lap. Fern will lead him into the corner. White flag is out. One more time around for Alexandra Fern, but here comes Dembeck.
Dembeck came from a spin early in the event. Alexandra Fern keeps digging in on the outside. They're wheel-to-wheel and side-by-side. Down the back straightaway, evenly matched. They head into turn number 3.
Any one of 3 cars could win it. Dembeck on the inside, surrounded by the 12 of Fern. Coming off turn number 4, here comes Dembeck. Here comes Fern, and Alexandra Fern has pulled it out.
Alexandra Fern takes it by inches, and the girl is on top of her game with back-to-back wins, and the fans really love it. Alexandra Fern.
What was going on in your mind?
I knew that he was a fast car today, so I worried a little bit, but he really did make it exciting by making that move to the inside. I thought that was pretty cool. It's really fun to race against him, and I like being on the outside, so that was really awesome to win it on the outside. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, you said that for sure. You had some great restarts, though. You're able to hold your own. Take me through some of those restarts and how tough it is to hold that outside lane.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of tough. I mean, I just do what I'm supposed to do and hope that everything works out, and I guess it did again today. So Oh, and happy birthday to Trace Byer's mom, Mrs. Byer. She's really awesome. She makes great food. And I'd also like to thank my dad and my mom. They do so much for me, and it's Father's Day on Sunday, so I can't wish my dad a happier Father's Day. And I also can't thank Safeco Foam, Rad Auto Machine for the big power, Independent Racing Wheels, Stafford Motor Speedway, Napa Auto Parts, and Sunoco Race Fuels. So thank you.
Don't count Alex Fern out of the points race now. Closing in fifth place was now sent it to John Gates, who has second and third.
Okay, Darren, thank you very much. And I got Dan back with me. Dan, oh, man. Dan, I'll tell you what, man, that was tough right in the beginning there. The car spun out. You came back through the pack, and you almost had this win tonight.
Yeah, I almost had this win. Yeah, I got taken out at a couple laps. I was just trying to drive it through the field. I mean, I just want to thank all the guys that work on this car, Jimmy, his son, my dad, my mom, my girlfriend, and the guys from Renner Race Car. This car wouldn't be on the track if it wasn't for them. The paint, Lucky's Rod and Custom, and that's about it.
There he is, Dan Denbach, second place tonight in the Dare Stock feature. Let's talk to Frank Latois Jr. Frank, man, the 33 was rocking tonight. You just about got a top 2 there anyways, and looking good, though.
Yeah, we certainly didn't need all those cautions, but my team's doing a fantastic job keeping this car on the podium every night. Minuteman Press, Zeke's Pump Service, Wild Thing Carts, K&W, there's so many people. But I just got to thank my team, really, because they're keeping me in this, and it's fun to drive, it's fun to race with these guys, and can't wait to get back next week.
There he is, third place, Dare Stock feature, Frank Latois Jr. in that number 33 car. We're going to go back to the tower after a great Dare Stock main event.